Hello everyone, welcome back to a new Samsung Galaxy Note 20 Ultra video. We are going to take a deep look at the pro mode of this phone's amazing camera. Before we begin, it would be massively appreciated if you can subscribe to my channel, press the bell icon to turn on the notifications, and also like this video. Alright, the Note 20 Ultra has one of the most powerful pro modes. You can switch to the pro mode or the manual mode by going into the mode section of the camera and then by tapping the pro mode of the phone. In the pro mode you will get a lot of custom options, and at first these options can be a bit overwhelming. But don't worry, I am going to explain this. On the left side, the very first option you can find is the ISO. It ranges between 50 and 3200. ISO is basically your camera sensor's sensitivity to light. The lower the ISO, the lower or darker the image will appear. The higher the ISO, the brighter the image will appear. A higher ISO will also bring a high amount of noise in the image. Typically, it is suggested to keep the ISO low. You should rely more on the external light and take the images by keeping the ISO under 1000 or 800. For the best results, an ISO of 100 or 200 with good external light will do a great job. Next to ISO is the shutter speed. This, in simple words, means the duration for which the shutter of your camera remains open and lets the light in. Shutter speed goes all the way down to 1/2000, and the maximum you can get is 30 seconds, which is quite a lot. A faster or lower shutter speed means the ability to freeze the motion without blurring the background, while a higher shutter speed will let you capture a lot of motion. For example, those light trail or those waterfall shots are captured by keeping the shutter speed high. While playing with the shutter speed, you also have to take care of the ISO. For example, if you want to capture the light trails or the waterfall shots, you will probably keep the ISO at 50 or 100, and the shutter speed will move between 4 or 5 seconds. An extremely low shutter speed can also result in dark and blank image, while an extremely high shutter speed can result in an extremely bright or a very poor image. After this, we have the exposure, which keeps adjusting itself automatically. The exposure should typically range between 0 and 1 only. So make sure that you set your ISO and the shutter speed that keep the exposure between 0 and 1 only. The auto and manual focus button is next. The manual focus on the lower side goes to macro. As you can see, there is a macro sign as well, which means you can focus on the objects extremely close to the camera while adding extreme blur to the background. On the higher side is a landscape icon, which means no background blur will occur here. Using the auto or manual focus is entirely your own choice. The white balance button appears next. White balance on the Note 20 Ultra ranges between 2300K and 10,000K. The lower you go, the cooler an image becomes. The higher you go, the warmer it becomes. White balance should be somewhere around 5000, but you can change it according to the color tone you need. White balance is originally used to remove the unrealistic colors from an image. Lastly, we have the color and other adjustments. First of all is tint. You can either add a pink or green tint to the image. The higher you go, the pinkish your image will become. The lower you go, the greener it becomes. Contrast. I am sure most of you know what it is. You can increase or decrease it to. Saturation. The higher you go, more red your picture will become, and the lower you go, the less focus will be on the reds. Saturation is also a subjective choice. If you want the red colors to pop, you can increase it. If your camera is not properly picking up the colors, saturation can definitely come in handy. Highlights focus on the white or the brighter areas of the image. If the bright areas are not as bright as they should have been, you can increase the highlights and vice versa. Shadows in the end are the complete opposite to highlights. They focus on the dark or the black areas instead. If blacks are not black enough, you can increase shadows and vice versa. On the other side, we get the metering options. Metering is an extremely interesting option. It can adjust the ISO, shutter speed and the exposure by measuring the brightness of the subject. To measure brightness from different areas of the frame, we get 3 options, with the center weight metering being the first one. Center weight metering exposes the image by taking an average from the center of the frame. Matrix metering exposes by taking the average of all the bright areas appearing in the camera frame. It creates a balance between the brighter and the darker areas of the image. Matrix metering also happens to be one of the most commonly used metering options. Spot metering is useful for portraits. You can set the exposure for a selected focus point. A red circle will determine where your focus point is. You can also change the camera frame here. 4:3 is a standard 12 megapixels mode. You can change it to 9:16 or full 2. One thing to keep in mind that the camera's 108 megapixels resolution does not work in the Pro mode, and you don't have any option to turn it on either. Timer and the flash options are next. Now the most important thing, how to turn on the RAW capture. Well, go to the settings, save options and turn on save as RAW. By default this is turned off, so you have to turn it on in order to start saving the RAW copies of your images. The Pro mode in my opinion is still not very powerful. It misses the lens selection feature, and also there is no option to play with the aperture. Let's now take a look at the Video Pro mode, which also resides in the More section of the phone. In the Video Pro mode, the very first and the most interesting option is the mic. The custom mic is by default set to Omni. Omni will pick up the sound from all the directions. If you want it to pick up the sounds from the front only, select front. For rear sound, select rear. We also get the option to use the Note 20 Ultra with USB. Just connect it and start using it via USB. And yes, the Bluetooth option is there too. If you are carrying one of those smart Bluetooth mics, this option is going to be a great choice. The audio bars appear on the top of the screen here. We get the ISO again. ISO works in a manner similar to how it works for the photos. And then there is the shutter speed option, which is also the same as I explained previously. Let me explain a scenario where I would use this Video Pro mode. Let's suppose that I want to record a YouTube video of another phone and I want to match its screen frequency with my shutter's frequency in order to kill that flicker. I will set the ISO to somewhere around 100. Shutter speed will be double the frame rate. Let's say I am using 30 frames per second, as you can see on the screen. I'll set the shutter speed to 1/60 or so, and I'll try using external lights if needed. If I had aperture here, I would use a custom aperture value, probably set to 3.5 or 4.0. So depending on your scene, you can make the best use of these two available options. And once again, we have the auto and the manual focus, the white balance, and we can adjust the colors of the video too. Lastly, there is the zoom option. In the Pro video, we can zoom up to 10x, up to 5x is lossless zoom, and after that the digital zoom takes over. Towards right side at the bottom is the histogram. You can turn it on to get an idea of the distribution of light in an image. Above that are the camera frames. The 16:9 and 20:9 appear to be really interesting options with 8K support. To select another video resolution, you will go to the camera settings and go to the Pro video size, and from here you can select a resolution starting from 1080p at 30 frames per second, going all the way up to 120 frames per second, 4K at 60 frames per second, or the full-fledged 8K at 24 frames per second. Now up to 4K at 60 frames per second, the OIS of this phone's camera will work. I am not sure about the 8K at 24 FPS. I think in this mode only the EIS will work. And by the way, current selected video frame rate also appears on the screen. You can see towards the bottom right side of the screen right now, and I have selected the Full HD at 30 frames per second here. And that pretty much sums up our Galaxy Note 20 Ultra camera Video Pro mode guide. I hope you guys have a very good understanding of each and every single feature of this phone's Pro mode. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up button, and if you loved it, please subscribe to my channel. With that said, I will sign off and see you all in the next video.